Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the counselor's office. Scholars, hit the goddamn sub button. Actually, if you're not a scholar, you need to be subbing right now. Hit it. That's right. Your fate's in my hand right here. Do it. Sub. I demand subs. I demand it. I don't know why, but I demand it nonetheless. Anyways, welcome to the counselor's office. We're talking about my first impressions for Destiny Rising. That's right, Destiny Rising, the big hitting mobile game that is currently in beta, and it's, well, let's talk about a couple things, shall we? First off, people were coming into my stream when I was playing it and saying, is this based off like before Destiny 1? And it's no, this is a non-canon to the main franchise of Destiny. And it is not made by Bungie. It's made by NetEase. And as we'll talk about it, there's some very clear differences in quality and what the games provide. This is also a first impression, meaning I haven't done a whole comprehensive playthrough. There's still parts of the game. It's still beta. So I'm not going to be like, this is definite how it's going to be. Things are up to change. They can change at any time. I also want to note and be very honest. I don't play mobile games. It is a mobile game. At the base, this is not a console game. This is not a PC game. This is a mobile game. You know, you got your tablets, you've got your cell phones, or if you're like me, you're using emulator for PC. But this was intended to be able to play from your phone. So let's just keep that in mind, right? I'm all about being fair. I don't like mobile games. In fact, I used to make fun of people for playing mobile games, especially like Call of Duty Mobile. I'm like, why the hell would you play that? Just play Call of Duty. Like, you can just get Game Pass or something for PC or Xbox, or play Warzone for free. Like, just why would you ever play a first-person shooter game on your phone? That's stupid. At least that's what I thought until I played Destiny Rising. And I have to say, I don't play gacha games. I don't play gacha games in general, but I definitely don't play mobile games. Destiny Rising is my first introduction to really the mobile genre. And I have to say, I was actually surprised. I was surprised because I did not realize I was going to spend so much time playing a mobile game and having a good time. Like, obviously, there's always the meme going on, I can't believe Destiny Rising is going to be a better game than what Bungie can make. And people were like, all these features. I'm like, it's a mobile game. You know, we could point out, it's kind of funny. A mobile game got this feature before. The Destiny 2 did. Lol. But it was just like a jab. But now that I've actually played the mobile game, it's kind of like, it's not a joke anymore. And we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the pros and the cons. My general first impression is I was impressed. First off, I expected the quality, even on an emulator, to be where it was actually a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Like, no joke. The game environment was actually fairly pretty. I'm also a very simple person. We don't need like 4K graphics for me. I'm looking for substance from the actual game itself. Graphics is kind of like additive to me, because you can have a really pretty, well-running game and it's boring as hell. So I think graphics as a secondary option, especially when I go play some older games that are obviously very dated in graphics, but they're very fun. Where's the fun level? This game has a lot of fun. It has fun in the fact that it's its own story, so it goes off in its own direction. It's still the paper cut, you know, the darkness, the lights, the collapse, all these keywords from Destiny 1. You're gonna see this in Destiny Rising. It's going in its own direction though. Like, we have, you know, a tree of light essentially. Instead of the tower, we have the haven, and we have other cities now. Instead of just one, or encampments where there are other human beings instead of just the last city, which I always thought was really stupid about the Destiny universe is that there's only one singular location. It kind of cuts off the attachment to the rest of the universe. And even in this case, Earth. I think they really branch out on Earth. So far playing, it's not been about like, oh, all these different planets. It's just Earth. It's spreading out the lore and the focus on planet Earth, the home where the humanity is. And I like it so far. That was kind of like the biggest problem, especially Destiny 2, where they tried to go to multiple planets and they didn't really focus on bringing to life the planet we were starting off on. And I feel like Earth is very fleshed out. I feel like there's a lot of characters. It feels from Destiny general, from like the franchise to Destiny Rising, it feels like there's more impact. There is more attachment to the world of Destiny Rising based on the fact that there are actual NPCs that are talking. There's actual people who are interacting with you. And obviously Destiny has had NPCs talk, but I'm talking about like, it feels like a real city versus just like a couple of drones walking around. There was like this moment where I'm doing this Zur quest and just this random ass dialogue for NPCs are going on. And you're like, what?
Have you heard? Birds aren't real. The pigeons in the city are actually fallen drones.
So you're telling me all those pigeons I saw on my date with Lily, the Fallen were spying on us?
Wait, hold up. You're going out with Lily too?
What? What the fuck? What is that random ass dialogue? The birds aren't real. They're drones. You're going out with Lily? Bro, this game is amazing. Just what the fuck? It's just completely random, but funny as hell that the world feels alive and that you're being blindsided by random dialogue. There's exploration like regular Destiny and even public events, which is really cool because I thought some of the public events, or at least the one I did, felt more engaging than even public events in Destiny 2. The gunplay feels just like Destiny. And I know that's weird coming from a mobile game, but I played mouse and keyboard and it felt pretty much similar. Yes, you could switch from first person to third person, which I think was an amazing improvement in my opinion. I think there's aspects for why I would like third person, and the people that do like it, you have that option to go back and forth just seamlessly from one to the other. I like the different characters. In fact, I think I connected more with my ghost. Your character, you start out as Wolf and you're the, part of the Iron Lords, the whole Iron Banner storyline is more intricate than what we've had in Destiny. Like we've had tags and moments. Even we have Kabir, who's like the Vault of Glass legend. We have all these people, Scory, Radagast, like all these different characters from lore, and they have personalities, they have identity, and you actually give a shit about them, or at least to a certain extent, you give a shit about them. I mean, Ikora, even more badass. And I'm gonna be honest, after playing Destiny Rising, Radagast is a better Vanguard leader than Zavala. Like, rest in peace, Lance. No one's ever gonna replace his voice acting. If he was Radagast, I think it would have been better than Zavala. Because Zavala is just this baby back bitch that just whines and complains about every last thing. Whereas Radagast is just a dude who he literally sits on like an iron throne. Like he is Game of Thrones badass, has a baby dragon, Amakara. Like he's a Chad. And that's what I think we all wish Zavala was. But you're building these connections, even your ghost, Sev, and each one has their own identity, voice actors, and you give a shit about them. Like I felt more attached to my character, Wolf, and my ghost than I have ever in any of Destiny history. Like there's actual conversation between your character and the other characters. It's just you're not sitting there in this weird, awkward state that is Destiny 2. Like the whole concept of Bungie, like we want you to feel like you're part of the game. I don't know how to tell you this. People feel more engaged, more attached, and more involved in a story when your character that you're playing is actually talking and not sitting there like a mindless drone. Like it feels inhuman. It feels detached. And I never realized that until after playing Destiny Rising, where you're seeing these characters interact and you're like, holy, why has that not been a thing in Destiny? Like, we have moments where there's some interaction, but we need true connection that is not happening in a Destiny universe. All right, what about like some of the core aspects? Like we talked about gunplay. Let's talk about like strikes, right? We'll start with the missions. Missions so far seem like they're daily capped. This is also beta. I don't know if this is going to be like that for the full release, but it is capped. It's based on level. There's a lot to grind for. You have your team levels. So you have your little fire team of different characters you can choose between with different loadouts, and you gain gear, levels it up, letting you do more harder challenges, and doing harder challenges. You get pinnacle gear, which kind of builds up. You can get exotics. You can get artifacts that boost your character and kind of work a build for synergy and whatnot. There's a lot of small systems that I'm still learning and try to comprehend, like leveling things up. There's a lot of gacha mechanics in there, and we'll get to that in some of the negatives. But the strikes, right? We played a strike. It was pretty short. But again, this is a mobile game, but it felt fun. It felt good. Boss fights feel really engaging. In fact, there was one of the strikes that is available currently feels like it's Vesper's host final boss fight. You got lightning and you're dodging and fighting a fallen. It's fun. It's not over the top. It's not crazy. It's not like, oh my God, it's not game changing, but it's fun. It's refreshing. It is something that I think the Destiny community has been wanting. And I'm saying this generally from Destiny Rising period, is that it is refreshing in the fact that it feels like a reboot of the series, which is something that people have been craving because Destiny 2 is starting to get stale. The story is going in circles. This is opening up more possibilities. It's pretty much the same old Destiny 1 story. We got the Hive, you've got, the Fallen. It's a little bit more branched out, more concise, which goes to the next biggest thing to talk about. The new player experience. They have done this gacha mobile game has done a better job in its beta and whatever, and just its small release than Bungie has in the past 10 years. It is every little thing is explained how to do it, using your super, using your sparrow to crafting, to artifacts, to using in fact, there's not only is there tutorials, but there's actual like training grounds where it actually encourages you to learn how to do each character and their abilities, because you get resources then you can use in the store to then get more characters or whatever you're wanting to use that resource on. But it teaches you every little aspect of the game. You don't need to watch My Name is Bife to know the story either, because it has video archives. It has video archives so you can rewatch cutscenes. It has the storyboard so you can look at each mission and understand a summary of what's going on. It explains the different races, how did it happen, what each character is, and what their point of the story is. It breaks it down so you never have to, like, I'm sorry, Bife, you don't have a job for Destiny Rising. You can literally just play the game and everything's in the game, and not some absurd, like, I have to go out of my way to get collectibles to understand the story. No, it's just there. You just get the storyboard. You can play the game. It tells you everything. You can rewatch things. You can reread things in a summarized form. It does everything that you want in a video game. My biggest complaint about video games, not just Destiny, is if you have to go out of the game to understand what the fuck is going in the game, it's a shitty game. The only exception is Dark Souls, because it's intentionally vague. Intentionally. Like, that's this whole thing. It's supposed to be story crafting based on like armor and weapons and just brief interactions with characters. You're supposed to kind of formulate the story or make up what you think the story is. That's very specific to that series. Most games should be said in the context of the game itself, which Bungie has done a horrible, horrible job like 80% of the time. Our Destiny Rising does what Bungie fails at. It does a great new player experience. There should be nothing. Well, there is something, you know, that I do have criticism on the new player experience in general and just the tutorial experience, which I find to be intentional. And we'll get to that. I'm holding off on a lot of negativity in the back because I'm going to get lost in the sauce here in a minute. Because we're brutally honest, and that's what I do here. I'm going to give you some brutally honest criticism of my thoughts. All right, I had to stop my recording. It just broke, so I don't know what else I missed. If there was anything else that was of importance, just know that I will probably cover it in my brutally honest review when the full thing comes out, because I'll play the whole thing. My general thought, though, we jump right into the negatives because I want to be critical. I want to give some criticism about Destiny Rising. If you like Destiny because it's a looter shooter and you like the chase of loot, you're not going to like this game very much. It feels like loot is a secondary thought, only there for the gotcha mechanics and to try to be as a level gate. There is a lot of problems with the fact that loot is specifically tied to each character. Like certain characters only get specific guns. Same thing with exotics. You can't just use any exotic. It's tied to specific characters, which I find to be a very bad choice because it makes exotics less exotic. It makes me care less because I get an exotic for a character I don't own. I can't use it. Why do I care? And that is kind of a problem where if you want to use a specific weapon, like dual wielding is a thing in this game, but only specific characters can use dual wielding weapons. So it's like, oh, cool. Glad that's a thing. And you have to hope that you like the character with the weapons that you also like. It is very jarring. I mean, I want to praise, you know, some of the weapons are unique, but overall it's very lackluster. The fact that like only specific characters use loot and it's just there to increase your lights, and there's not like a wide variety of options, and it is a beta, and this is also just a mobile game, and it's just a new release. But my thoughts and opinions is it feels like loot is not as important outside of filling the level gap and for matching elements. But when like in Destiny, you were excited for getting, like everyone got a Gallahorn, you were excited, like, oh baby, I can put this on all my characters. You can't do that here. So it's like, great, cool. That's awesome. Fantastic. So yeah, loot is a little disappointing. The gameplay is fine. The loot is where it's disappointing. Characters were diverse enough that I enjoyed the characters. Some of them were pretty bad and lame, and some of them made supers better than in Destiny 2. But overall, the fact that the guns are specifically attached to characters kind of kills it for me. I still will play it, but it's not like I'm over. It's not the grind isn't there in the fact that it's fun. The grind is there specifically for the retention and to try to get you to spend money to override the forced wall, which is prototypical of gacha games. Talking about gacha mechanics, we talked about the tutorial and how the tutorial was very well done for Destiny Rising compared to Destiny and Destiny 2. It is intentionally bad, in my opinion. It's just an opinion. I don't have anything to verify this to be a fact, but from my subjective opinion, my educated opinion of playing this game, the storefront is intentionally vague in its explanation because there is so many damn currencies. There's like 5, 6, 7 different currencies. There's like 5 different like trades. Like you got your store, you got you got 3, 4 different battle passes, you got bundles, this bundle you can pull for this character or this character, you got this material for this material, you got your bright store that's pretty shitty compared to Destiny, which I was like, it is. I never thought I would say that I would see a a store worse than Destiny 2's Bright Dust store because of how limited the options are. But even then, it is insane to see that the mobile game is even shittier and Bright Dust is even more pointless. But you've got that store, then there's another trade-in, then you have the faction trade-in for the Relic Standing or whatever the hell it's called. It's the Gambit of the game, which is again cool. I think that's really exciting that they have a better version of Gambit. But again, explanation could be better on that front too. But that has its own currency. There's like so many different currencies. It is intentionally feels overwhelming and confusing. Like half the time I forget what currency works with this. Like I'm chasing, Goth Mommy, and you can do multiple currencies to try to pull cards to try to pull her. And you're trying to remember, okay, well, if I do this, can I do this? And how much of this do I need? If I trade this for this, like it is intentionally overwhelming to get you to just swipe your card and just kind of bypass all of it. It's like swipe, take my money, just easy insert. And I did spend like $30 to try the experience out because I never played gotchas and I'm not impressed. It is as bad as I thought it was. I did get one mythic character or exotic character, whatever they want to call it. So I got a good pull. And that's cool. He's one of my favorite characters now. I want Goth Mommy, though, to sit on me. It is, and here, another thing I didn't mention is that any currency that's being used in this beta will transfer over to the full release. Like, you'll get, that's another thing that they try to sell you is like, hey, buy stuff now, and you're going to get an increase when we refund all of it, and you can just essentially get silver or whatever to buy whatever you want in the future. So it's like a down payment, and you put up money up front, and then you get to get the extra stuff. Like you get a little bit extra when you put a down payment. And then there's even there's a battle pass, there's a paid battle pass, which is funny because none of that, to my acknowledgement, transfers over, which is really weird. Like there's a battle pass and a premium pass, like a freebie. And to my acknowledgement, none of that's going forward, but you can still invest into the battle pass and try and unlock stuff. And then there's I guess you would call a store battle pass, because the more money you spend, the more you unlock. That this specific pass does transfer over to the full release. So it's like, it is intentionally overwhelming. The MTX is so bad. However, it is not required to play the game yet. That I've not gotten to the roadblock. I've heard a lot of gotchas do roadblocks that force you. My thought is that power level will be that roadblock in the future. We'll have to see, especially if you want to play consistently. This may be a game that you play for, you check in daily, do your dailies, and you're off. This is not it may not be, and I don't know what the end game is. If it is intentionally roadblocky like that, this may be a game that you can't main. You just play on the side, which is a shame because it has some really fun missions and it's pretty exciting overall. It feels fresh to the Destiny franchise, but just, it's a pro and a con that you don't have to interact with the store. But if you do want them to, like I said, to play with specific characters or specific weapons, you need those characters to be unlocked. And you also want different characters for different elements. The game does give you Ikora and Kabir, which is a Void, Arc, and you already have Solar. So you have all three elements. So that's good, at least. But if you want to be able to play like dual wielding, you have to unlock a character that allows you to play dual wielding weapons. And in that regard, this game has a lot of seals. There's a lot of triumphs and seals, and even brought the combination system from Destiny. I don't know why the fuck it's in this game. I don't know if it's even any value at all. There's a lot that's still up in the air. There's a lot that I haven't played. Like there's the whole clan option. None of that has been found through. I'm trying to think of I think the biggest one is the storefront. It's just overwhelming, especially for someone who doesn't play mobile games as your first exposure. It's worse than Destiny 2. The flip side of why would be grilling it nearly as much is, one, it's mobile, and this is prototypical. So, it's like getting mad at a pig for being a pig, right? You can't get mad at something that's just in its nature. You are being the dumb one if you think that it should be different than what it is and what's accepted as. It's called a gacha game because that's what it is. That's what it's supposed to be. Again, like I said, you don't have to use it. You can play the game itself so far that I've gotten to without actually having to invest money in it, which is cool. It's still just very overcomplicated for no reason in that regard, though. That I just wish they would simplify it. It's a very obvious psychological tactic to just overwhelm you and make you just swipe your card to bypass the confusing systems. I slowly got used to it after a while. I'm still confused on some things, and just navigating through the piles of shit, just piles of stuff. You click, 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 click. Like, bro, why? But if you can overcome that, it's a good game and it's free. That's a big thing. It's free. And that's the big difference from Destiny and this, is that this is a free game and a free experience. Destiny is not free. Destiny is a free to try. It'll have some more free components with seasons finally being free, but Destiny is not free. So I'm more lenient on a mobile game that is, it's in nature to try to make money because it's free. It has systems that should have been in place in Destiny 2 years ago. Yeah, I do want to glaze it where it deserves to be glazed, but man, the MTX is just, it is hard for me to overcome it because it's so overwhelming. Again, it's like getting upset that a pig is a pig. You know what you're getting into. Trying to fight against it is like fighting against a wall. You're an idiot if you try to do it. Like, it's not like paying for a product like Destiny where it should be what it is versus them cranking out the double dipping and even triple dipping on trying to get money out of you. This is a mobile game and you should expect it to be as a mobile game. Just my 2 cents on there. I'm having a great time, but again, was this a game that you can main? I don't know. I'm still waiting on endgame. This is just my first impressions, my first hands-on, and yeah, I mean, I will give you the up and up whenever I get access to the full release. It will be fun. It'll be cool, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor. This is my first impressions of Destiny Rising. If you love Destiny, you're gonna love this. From the base of it, it definitely is nostalgic to Destiny 1 with its own story and direction. If you're wanting a looter shooter, you're going to be a little disappointed with this because the loot's not the main focus. It's just the playability of it, which I find the characters fun and engaging, and I have a good time with for what it is, which is a mobile game. It's not a PC game. It is a mobile game. You have to keep your mindset on that. Do I think this is ever going to replace Destiny? Listen, they have to have some incredibly well-designed in-game activities that makes you want to come back, and you can continue to come back without having to pay money. Unless that's in this game, you're never going to see this mobile game replace the true and old looter shooter Destiny 2. It's not going to happen. There is something about getting loot that causes dopamine in your brain that makes you want to continue to play Destiny. And that is something that is slightly lacking, or almost, depending on who you are, could be completely lacking in Destiny Rising. I will hope that they fix that, and I hope that loot becomes exciting. But so far, it's just, I open up a chest, I get a new weapon, I auto-equip it if it's high or light, and then that's it. Like, weapons literally don't seem to matter outside of, is it do good damage and does it have light level, and that's it. No, I felt like I had more fun spamming abilities than shooting guns, unless it was the grenade launcher rocket or the LMG that was shooting out grenades. Like, specific archetype weapons were cool. Most of the time it was just, I'm playing the game for just playing it, right? I'm playing it to have fun with the story and for the abilities of my character that I'm playing, because they're total badasses. But that's just my general thoughts. If you've played it, let me know what you think. As always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Until next time, game out. Huzzah.